Find the HCF of 5 comma 7 by Euclid's division. So first, how we will do normal division, the same way we need to continue. Small number to the left side and bigger number in the middle. 5 ones are 5. Do subtraction. 7 minus 5, 2. So now this we need to write in the form of A equals to BQ plus R. It is nothing but dividend is equals to divisor into quotient plus remainder. So here dividend is 7. So 7 equals to divisor into quotient 5 into 1 plus remainder. The same way we need to continue this process till we get the remainder 0. So now the second step is take these two numbers and do division again. 2, 5. 2 2s are 4. 5 minus 4, 1. Again this also we need to write in the form of A equals to BQ plus R. That is dividend equals to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Again here also we didn't get the remainder 0. So we need to continue it further again. So for that, take these two numbers 2 and 1, again do division. So here 1, 2 comes. 1 2s are 2. 2 minus 2, 0. So whenever we get the remainder 0, we need to stop the process there. So now our last step is going to be here dividend equals to divisor into quotient plus remainder 0. So now after getting the remainder 0 in that step, which is the divisor, that will become our HCF. So in this case the divisor is 1, otherwise the divisor is 1. So HCF is 1. Next question. Find the HCF and LCM of 12 comma 15 by prime factorization. So first we need to write all the prime factors. For number 12, 2 6s are, 2 3s are. So the number 12 equals to, here 2 is there 2 times, right? So 2 power 2 into, here 3 is there only 1 time, it can be written as 3 power 1. Now the same way 15 also, if you do prime factorization, 15 3 5s are. So now 15 equals to, here 5 is there only once, so 5 power 1 into 3 is there only once, so 3 power 1. So now this is the prime factorization of 12 and 15. Now from this prime factorization we need to find out the HCF as well as LCM. Let us check how to solve that one then. To find out the HCF, first we need to take the elements which are common in both. Here 2 is there, but in this 2 is not there, so this is not necessary for us. Next, here 3 is there, here also 3 is there, so take that 3 aside. Next, here 5 is there, but that 5 is not there in this again, so 5 is not necessary for us. So only the common number in those two is 3 only. So now after writing that 3 in the HCF, check for the powers. Here for 3 the power is 1, here also for 3 the power is 1. So while writing the HCF, the power should be always the smallest power. Whereas in this case, these two are same power, so write it as it is 3 power 1, which is nothing but 3. Next, what about LCM then? Let us check it out that also. LCM. First write the common number 3. In that common number, we need to write the maximum power. In this case, both are having the same power, so write 1 as it is. Into. Now, in the HCF, which numbers we didn't consider at all, those all the numbers we need to write now here. So, in the first case, 2 power 2 into, in the second one, 5 power 1. So, this will be the LCM. If you do multiplication of this, 3 times 2 square is 4. Into 5 power 1 is 5. So 3 4s are 12, 12 5s are 60. So LCM of 12 and 15 is 60, whereas HCF is 3. Next question is, show that square of any positive integer is of the form 3p or 3p plus 1. Sometimes they will ask just only number, sometimes they will ask square, and sometimes they will ask cube. So in this question he is asking to check the square. So what we need to do is first take our Euclid's division. A equals to bq plus r. Now if we observe the given question clearly, 3p or 3p plus 1, 3p or 3p plus 1. So from these two cases we can conclude one thing, that is 3 is the divisor. So b value is given as 3. Now if b value is 3, then what are the possible remainders? Possible remainders are always less than the b value. So our possible remainders are 0 or 1 or 2. So now these remainders one by one we need to substitute in the given formula a equals to bq plus r. Okay, let us move to that then. First a value we don't know, so a equals to as it is bq plus r. A equals to b is nothing but 3, q as it is, plus first remainder I am taking, that is 0. So a equals to 3q plus 0. A equals to 3q plus 0 is nothing but 3q. So we got a equals to 3q, and in the question it is clearly mentioned that show that square of the number. So now we need to do squaring for this. Squaring on both the sides. So we get a square equals to 3q whole square. A square equals to 3 square is 9q square, because the square is applicable for first number as well as for the second number. So that's why it will become 9 into q square. Okay, now in the question he is asking us to show that it is in the form of 3p or 3p plus 1. So for that what we will do is, from the given, whatever the answer we got, a square equals to, just simply take 3 common. So if we take out 3 common, then we remains with 3q square. So a square equals to 3 into 3q square. Now this is in the form of three into p. So this 3 as it is, and this total whatever is there in the bracket I am considering it as some p. So this is in the form of 3p, where p equals to 3q square. Okay, now 0 remainder completed. So let us take one more remainder, that is 1. So a equals to bq plus r. A equals to b value is 3, q plus the second remainder we have is 1. So now again same, we need to do squaring on both the sides. Squaring on both the sides. So what it will become then? A square equals to 3q plus 1 whole square. So a square equals to 3q plus 1 whole square is in the form of a plus b whole square. If we expand it, a square plus b square plus 2 into a into b. So we get a square equals to 3q square, 9q square, plus 1 square is 1, plus 2 into 3q into 1, 6q. So now what I will do is, a square equals to 9q square and 6q, both I will write together. So 9q square plus 6q, and this 1 I will write last. Now a square equals to, from the first term and the second term again I will take 3 common, because we need to show that compulsory it is in the form of 3p plus 1 only. So that's why I am taking 3 as common. So now what it will remain then? 3q square plus 2q. From last term we cannot take 3 common, so that's why I am writing that last term as it is plus 1. So now this value is in the form of 3p plus 1. It is in the form of 3p plus 1, where p is equals to 3q square plus 2q. And in this type of questions you should not compare the case 1 p value and case 2 p value. Both are completely different. And now the same way we need to take the remainder 2 and we need to check that also. Let us do that also now. Okay, let's move to that. So now in the place of r, I am substituting 2 then. Again same process, squaring on both the sides. So a square equals to 3q plus 2 whole square. A square equals to 3q plus 2 whole square is in the form of a plus b whole square. So if we expand 3q whole square plus 2 square plus 2 into 3q into 2, which is equals to 3q whole square 9q square plus 2 square is 4 plus 2 into 3q into 2, 2 3 is 6, 6 2 is 12q. So which is equals to 9q square plus 4. I am writing it as 3 plus 1 plus 12q. Why I am writing 4 as 3 plus 1 means we need to show that it is in the form of 3p or 3p plus 1 only, right? So this 3 is divisible by 3 tables, so that's why I am writing this 4 as 3 plus 1. In case if we have 7, we need to write it as 6 plus 1 because 6 is again divisible by 3, like that. Okay, now from the first term, second term and fourth term, I will take out 3 common. So we remains 3q square plus 1 plus 4q. This remaining term as it is, I'll write plus 1. So now again if we compare this, this is also in the form of 3p plus 1, where p equals to 3q square plus 1 plus 4q. Okay, let's move to the next question then. Will 6 power n can end with the digit 0? To be end with the digit 0, the number should have 2 and 5 as prime factors. Okay, now let us check. The number is given as 6 power n, that can be written as 6 whole power n, which is equals to 6 can be written as 2 into 3 whole power n. So now according to the logic we have, to be end with the digit 0, the given number should have 2 and 5 as the prime factors. But in this case if we observe, only number 2 is the prime factor but number 5 is not a prime factor in this case. So that's why this 6 power n won't end with the digit 0, as 5 is not a prime factor. It won't end with the digit 0. Next, what will be the last digit of 6 power 100? 6 power 1 is 6, 6 power 2 is 36, 6 power 3 is 216, and next 6 power 4 is 1296. So now in these all the answers, if you observe the last digit, in every case the last digit is 6 only. So 6 power n ends with the digit ends with the digit 6, where n belongs to natural numbers, because we are starting from 6 power 1 only. If we take 6 power 0, then 6 power 0 is 1, completely it will be different then. So that's why we will start with the natural numbers only. So now 6 power n ends with the digit 6 always. So the last digit of 6 power 100, last digit of 6 power 100 is 6 only. Let's check the next question. how will you say that 17 into 11 into 2 plus 17 into 11 into 5 is a composite number? So whenever they are asking this kind of question, always we need to check for the common numbers in the both the terms or more than two terms. For example, in this all multiplication only, so single term. This all multiplication only, single term. The plus symbol is dividing as both the terms. So two terms are there now in the given question. So in both the terms, which numbers are common or repeated? Here 17 is there, here also 17 is there, here 11 is there, here also 11 is there. So 17 into 11 is repeating. So now 17 into 11, I am taking it outside completely. So now observe clearly. 17 into 11 we are taking outside, right? So from the first term, if we are taking 17 into 11 outside, then what we are remaining with? We are remaining with the number 2. So write that 2 inside. Now between the two terms, plus symbol is there, so keep that plus symbol here. Next thing is, from the second term also we took 17 into 11 outside. Now if we take 17 into 11 outside, what we remained with? Only the number 5. Write that number 5 here. So now 17 into 11 into 2 plus 5, it is 7. So now here no need to do multiplication and no need to write the final answer, because according to the definition of a composite number, the number which have more than two factors. For example, now if we take 17 is a factor, 11 is a factor, 7 is a factor, and one more will be there compulsory, that is number 1, because number 1 is a factor of every number. So in this case, this number has more than two factors, so definitely this is a composite number. We need to write the same. It has, or else the given number has more than two factors, so it is a composite number. Next question. Check whether the following numbers are terminating or non-terminating repeating type of decimals, that is without actual division. Because very rare they will give with division, most of the times they will give without division only. So that's why we are focusing on without division only. It's very simple thing. In the denominator, if only number 2 is there, or only number 5 is there, or 2 and 5 both are there, then we can say that that is terminating. Besides this 2 or 5 or 2 and 5, any other number is there, then immediately we can say that it is non-terminating repeating type of decimal. Here we need not to worry about the power. It may be power 0, or it may be power 10, it may be power 100, or it may be power 5, or it may be power 7, or it may be power 2, like this. We need not to worry about the power at all. In the denominator, if number 2 is there, or number 5 is there, or number 2 and 5 both are there, then we can say that it is terminating, otherwise non-terminating repeating. The same in mathematical terms, we will represent this as, if the denominator is in the form of 2 power n into 5 power m, then we can say that it is terminating, otherwise non-terminating repeating. Okay, now let us take one by one and we will check. First question we have is 5 by 4. 5 divided by 4, which is equals to 5 by, if we simplify the 4, we can write it as 2 square. So as I said earlier, in the denominator, if only number 2 is there, or only number 5 is there, or only 2 and 5 is there, then it is terminating. So in this case, here we have only number 2, so that's why this is terminating type of decimal. In the exam, we will write this same as, in the denominator, the denominator is in the form of 2 power n into 5 power m, so that's why it is a terminating. Next, second question. 7 by 8. 7 by 8. So 7 by 8, if we do prime factorization, we can write it as 2 cube. So in this case also, in the denominator only number 2 is there, so definitely this is also a terminating. Next question then, 7 by 25. 7 by 25. 7 by 25, if we do prime factorization, it will become 5 square. So here 5 square is there in the denominator, so it means only 5 is there in the denominator. I already said we need not to worry about the power, only the base we need to take care of. So here base is 5, so only 5 is there, then obviously this is also terminating. Next, question number 4, 7 by 9. 7 divided by 9 is there, so 7 by 9 can be written as 3 square. So as per our definition, the denominator should be in the form of 2 power n into 5 power m only. But here 2 is not there, 5 is not there, so besides that some other number is there in the denominator. So that's why this is non-terminating repeating type of decimal. We need to write this as in the exam. The denominator is not in the form of 2 power n into 5 power m, so that's why it is non-terminating repeating type of decimal. Next, question number 5. 7 by 12. 7 by 12. So here 7 by 12 can be written as 3 times 4, which is equals to 7 by 3 times 4 also can be written as 2 square. So prime factorization of 12 is 3 into 2 square. Now according to the definition, in the denominator only 2, only 5 or only 2 into 5 should be there, no other numbers. But in this case, besides 2, some other number 3 is there. So that's why this is again non-terminating repeating. Only 2 or only 5 or only 2 and 5, no other numbers in the denominator. Next question, 7 by 75. 7 divided by 75 equals to 7 by 75 can be written as 15 5s are 7 by, again 15 can be written as 3 times 5 into 5 again. So now if we observe the denominator again, 5 is there in the denominator, okay, no problem. But besides 5, some other number 3 is there. So that's why this is again non-terminating repeating type of decimal. Okay. Let's move to next bit then. Okay, this bit we have is write the decimal form of the given rational numbers without division. Though this is also mostly they will ask without division only, very rare they will ask with a division. Write the decimal form of the given rational numbers without actual division. So write the prime factorization of the denominator. Here 8 can be written as 2 cube. So now our first duty is making the denominator to 10 power something, 100 power something, 1000 power something, 10,000 power something, like this. If the denominator is 10, 100,000, 10,000, 1 lakh, 10 lakhs, 1 crore, 10 crore, like this, it will be very easy to write the decimal without the division. So this is our main intention here. So now for that, what we need to do, in the denominator 2 cube is there, means we need to multiply and divide by 5 cube, because 2 into 5 is 10, 2 square into 5 square is 100, 2 cube into 5 cube is 1000, 2 power 4 into 5 power 4 is 10,000. So that's why here 2 cube is there in the denominator, so we need to multiply and divide with 5 cube. In case 2 power 4 is there, we need to multiply with and divide with 5 power 4. If 2 power 10 is there, 5 power 10 by 5 power 10. If 2 power 2 is there, 5 power 2 by 5 power 2. In case if it in reverse, 5 square is there, 2 square by 2 square. 5 power 4 is there, 2 power 4 by 2 power 4. 5 power 10 is there, 2 power 10 by 2 power 10. Okay, now the numerator, if we simplify, 7 into 5 cube, 7 into 5 cube is 125, divided by 2 cube into 5 cube, 10 cube, which is equals to 7 into 125, it is 875, divided by 10 cube is nothing but 1000. So 875 by 1000 is 0.875. Next, second question, 7 by 25. 7 by 25 can be simplified as 5 square. So here 5 square is there, so that's why we need to multiply and divide by 2 square. So here what we will get then, 7 into 2 square is 4 divided by 5 square into 2 square, it is 10 square. 7 4s are 28 divided by 10 square, 100. 28 by 100, 0.28. Next, third question. 3 by 50. 3 by 50. Here 3 by 50 can be written as 25 2s are 3 by 25 can be written as 5 square into 2. Okay, now if we observe here, 5 maximum power is 2, whereas 2 can be written as 2 power 1. So for 2 it is only power 1. So we need to make the powers maximum. It means here 2 is their power, means here also it should be 2 compulsory. So for that what we need to do then? We require one more 2. So multiply and divide with 2. So now in the numerator 3 into 2 divided by 5 square into here 2 power 1 into 2 square, which is equals to 3 2s are 6 by 5 square into 2 square 10 square. 6 by 10 square is 100. 6 divided by 100 is nothing but 0.06. Next question. Write in P by Q form. So they will give decimals and we need to write it in the P by Q form. In these two types of questions will be asked actually. One is terminating and one is non-terminating repeating. So both will be having completely different methods. So let us discuss those separately. Okay, first one, where the given question is a terminating decimal. 0.2. First, remove the decimal and write the number. If we remove the decimal, it will become 0.2. Divided by, keep 1. Now, after the decimal, how many digits are there? Here, after the decimal, only one digit is there. So, keep 1 0 here. Now, 0.2 is nothing but 2 divided by 10. So, 2 1s are 2 5s are, which is nothing but 1 divided by 5. This is the process to solve the terminating decimal to make it into P by Q form. Next, let us check the second one then. 43.12 bar. 43.12 bar. Now, here 43.12 bar means these 1 2 numbers are repeating continuously because bar is for both 1 2. So that can be written as 43.12 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 and so on. So only 1 2 the digits are repeating, so that's why I wrote like the same. Now this whatever the given question is there, that we need to take it as some constant x. So x is equals to 43.12 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 and so on. This is equation number 1. Now next step what we need to do is multiplying this equation 1. Multiplying equation 1 by, so now in the given question, after the decimal, how many digits are repeating? Here after the decimal, 2 digits are repeating, right? 2 digits means 2 zeros we need to multiply with it. It means multiplying equation 1 by 100. After the decimal, 2 digits are repeating. That's why we need to multiply with the 2 zeros. It means 100. In case if 3 digits are repeating, 1000. If only 1 digit is repeating, 10. Like that we need to do. Okay, now if we multiply the equation 1 by 100, this left side we need to do with 100, x into 100 equals to right side also same then 100 into 43.121212 and so on. Okay, now if we simplify this further, x into 100, 100x is equals to 100 into 43.121212 and goes on. So here we are multiplying with 2 zeros. So this decimal point will move 2 digits to the right side. So it means this decimal will come here now. So this will become then 4312.121212 and so on. This is equation number 2. So now we need to subtract equation 1 from the equation 2. Let me write all 2 equations again. Second equation is 100x is equals to 4312.121212 and so on. And first equation is x is equals to 43.121212 and so on. So now starting from the right corner we need to do subtraction. 2 minus 2 0, 1 minus 1 0, 2 minus 2 0, 1 minus 1 0, 2 minus 2 0, 1 minus 1 0 dot. Here from 2 we cannot subtract 3, so take borrow, then this will become 12 and this will become 10 again. So we need to take borrow here also again. So now 12 minus 3 it will become 9, 10 minus 1 it will become 4. So 2 will be as it is then, because we are taking borrow, right? This 2 will become 2. So 4, which is equals to 100x minus x, 99x. So 99x is equals to 4269 point and so on. So now here after the decimal only zeros are there which doesn't have any value, so I remove that completely. Now we want x value, so for that take 99 to the right side, then it will become division. So x is equals to 4269 divided by 99. So let us check first of all it will be simplified further or not. Yeah, in 3 table it will come. 3 14s are 3 23s are divided by 3 33s are. That's it. So x value is equals to 1423 divided by 33. This is the p by q form of the given non-terminating repeating type of decimal. Let's check the next question then. Okay, again this bit is one of the very important questions in the exam. Show that 5 minus root 3 is an irrational number. So for example, on our earth we have only 2 fruits. One is apple and one is banana. Now what I did is, I gave you one fruit which you don't know what is that exactly in the basket. So what I am saying is, prove that that given fruit is a banana. So what you will do is, you will prove that that given fruit is not an apple. So obviously that will be a banana only, because as per our knowledge only 2 fruits are there. If you could able to prove that it is not an apple, definitely it is a banana. So this is only called as contrary method. We won't prove it directly, we will take it in reverse direction and we will prove that. So this is also we are going to solve in the contrary method only. So for that what we will do is, instead of showing it as an irrational number, we will prove it is not a rational. If it is not a rational number, then definitely it will be an irrational number only. Okay, let us check that now. On the contrary, let us assume 5 minus root 3 is rational. Okay, if this is a rational number, then definitely it will be in the form of p by q, right? So 5 minus root 3 equals to p by q. But our textbook is following a by b instead of p by q. That's why I am also changing it to a by b. No problem, we can write p by q also. Nothing is wrong in that. Now what I will do, I will take this minus root 3 to the right side and a by b to the left side. So we get 5 as it is. A by b will become minus a by b equals to minus root 3 will become plus root 3. Now if we simplify this, b into 5b minus a whole divided by b equals to 5b minus a divided by b equals to root 3. So what is the definition of rational numbers? The numbers which are in the form of p by q, where p and q both are integers and q not equals to 0. So in this case, we assumed that 5 by 3 is a rational number, so that we wrote it is in the form of a by b. Then it means a will become the numerator and b will become the denominator. So a comma b belongs to integers, b not equals to 0. This is the condition, right? Now let us observe the last line. 5b minus a by b. A is an integer, b is an integer. So whatever the number you want, you can substitute in the place of this a and b, so that this total left side value will become rational number only. Whereas this RHS, if we observe, that is root 3, is an irrational number. Now, for example, if I think this LHS is rational number, then definitely RHS also rational number only, because LHS is equals to RHS means if LHS is rational number means RHS is also rational number. If LHS is a rational number, irrational number, RHS is also irrational number. But in this case, it is not happening like that. LHS is a rational number, but RHS is an irrational number. So this contradiction has arisen due to our wrong assumption. This you need to write. This contradiction has arisen due to our wrong assumption. What we assumed in the beginning, we assumed it as a rational number. Now here we are saying that it is wrong assumption, right? So definitely the given question is an irrational number only. Next question. Show that root 2 plus root 3 is an irrational number. Here also same. On the contrary, let us assume root 2 plus root 3 is rational. If root 2 plus root 3 is rational, then definitely this can be written in the form of p by q then. So root 2 plus root 3 is equals to p by q. Actually our textbook is following a by b, so I am replacing p by q with a by b. Now a comma b both are belongs to integers and b not equals to 0. This is the condition. Okay, now what I will do is I will do squaring on both the sides. Root 2 plus root 3 whole square equals to a by b whole square. So now left side, root 2 plus root 3 whole square is in the form of a plus b whole square. Then if we expand, root 2 whole square plus root 3 whole square plus 2 into root 2 into root 3 is equals to a by b whole square can be written as a square by b square. Next, here square root cancel, then remains with 2 plus 3 plus 2 into root 2 into root 3, it is root 6 equals to a square by b square. 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 plus 2 times root 6 is equals to a square by b square. Now I will take 5 to the right side. So we get 2 times root 6 is equals to a square by b square plus 5 will become minus 5. So we get 2 times root 6 is equals to a square minus b square into 5. 5b square divided by b square. So now I will bring this 2 also to the right side. Then we get root 6 is equals to a square minus 5b square divided by 2b square. So now in the first step we clearly know that a and b both are integers. So this a is integer, b is integer, this is also integer. So if a and b both are integers means definitely the RHS is integer here. Sorry, rational number. As A comma B are integers, RHS is rational, but LHS is, what about this root 6 then? Root 6 is irrational number. This contradiction has arisen. This contradiction has arisen due to our wrong assumption. So definitely the given question is an irrational number. In the textbook what he did is, here root 2 plus root 3 equals to a by b is there, right? Root 2 plus root 3 is equals to a by b. He took this root 3 to the right side. Root 2 is equals to a by b minus root 3. For this equation, he did squaring on both the sides. Anyway, both are same only. I mean, both the processes are same. Okay, now, show that 3 plus 2 root 5 is an irrational number. Same here again. On the contrary, let us assume three plus 2 root 5 is a rational. So if definitely this 3 plus 2 root 5 is a rational, it can be written in the form of a by b. So 3 plus 2 root 5 is equals to a by b. Then what about the condition? A comma b both belongs to integers. B not equals to 0. Okay. Take 3 to the right side. 2 root 5 is equals to a by b minus 3. 2 times root 5 is equals to a minus b into 3. 3b divided by b. Now take 2 also to the right side. Then we get root 5 is equals to a minus 3b divided by 2b. Now according to our first condition, we know very well that a and b both are integers, right? This a and b both are integers. So this a and b both are integers means this RHS will become a rational number, but our LHS is an irrational number. So this contradiction has arisen due to our wrong assumption. So that's why the given question is an irrational number. Okay, let's move to the next question then. Write in logarithmic form. So here all the given questions are in exponential form. We need to change those exponential form to logarithmic form. Sometimes they will ask in reverse also. They will only give you logarithmic form and they will ask you to change it into exponential form. Let us discuss both the ways now. Okay, first question we have here. 2 power 5 is equals to 32. Now wherever the number alone is there, take that number, that is 32, right? So for this 32, apply log 32. Now in the given question, which is the base? Here 2 power 5 is there means 2 is the base, right? So keep that as it is here also base, which is equals to, now here number 32 completed, here number base 2 completed, here remaining is power 5. Write that power 5 as equal to. So log 32 base 2 equals to 5. Let us check the second one the same way now. 3 power 4 equals to 81. Write or apply log for 81. Log 81. Here base is 3. So write the same 3 as the base here, which is equals to, here power is 4. Write that as the answer. So log 81 base 3 equals to 4. Next, third question. 6 power 3 equals to 216. 6 power 3 equals to 216. Okay, first for 216 we need to apply log. So log 216. Here base is 6. So write that as it is as the base is equals to, here whatever the power is there, write that as answer. Next, last question. 10 cube equals to 1000. 10 cube equals to 1000. Apply log for 1000. So log 1000. Here base is 10, so write it as 10, which is equals to, here power is 3, so that will become our answer. Log 1000 base 10 equals to 3. The same also can be written as log 1000 equals to 3. Whenever we don't have base means it is obviously the base is 10 only in the logarithms. Okay, now let us check the same questions in reverse then. For example, log 216 base 6 is equals to 3. Now this is in logarithmic form. We need to convert this back to exponent. Okay, first what we need to do is, here 6 is base, right? That base as it is, you take base for 3. It will become 6 power 3, right? 6 is base, 3 is power, which is equals to, now the remaining number 216 will become the answer. 6 cube equals to 216. So in this way, we can convert from exponential to logarithmic and logarithmic form to exponential form. Next question. Expand log 343 divided by 125. Log 343 divided by 125. The given question is in the form of log A by B. So log A by B formula is log A minus log B. Here 343 is in the place of A and 125 is in the place of B. So log 343 by 125 can be written as log 343 minus log 125. Now if any simplification is possible means we need to do that simplification. That is log 343 can be written as 7 cube minus log 125 can be written as 5 cube. Okay, now here we need to recapitulate one formula, that is log A power n equals to n into log A. It means if we have a power, that power will come to the front as it is. So here also same, we have one power 3, that power will come to the front. Here power 3 is there, that will come to the front. So it will become then 3 times log 7 minus 3 times log 5. In both the terms, number 3 is common, so let us take that 3 common. So then we will remains with log 7 minus log 5. Next question. Write 2 log 3 plus 3 log 5 minus 5 log 2 as a single logarithm. In the previous question, they gave very small question and we expanded it into little bigger. In this case, he only gave very big question and we need to make it into small. So just in this case, we will use the formulas in reverse now. For example, we have log A power m equals to m into log A. Till now we used, in the previous case we used this one. If power is there means it will come to the back. Now in this case what we will do means, from RHS we will move to LHS now. In the front side, if number is there means it will go as the power. So here 2 is the front number, it will go as the power. 3 is the front number, it will go as the power. 5 is the front number, it will go as the power. Then we will get log 3 square plus log 5 cube minus log 2 power 5. Let us simplify this further now. Log 3 square is 9 plus log 5 cube is 125 minus log 2 power 5 is nothing but 32. And one more formula we have, that is log A plus log B equals to log A by B. Oh sorry, AB. This is addition is there means it will become multiplication. The same way if minus is there means log A minus log B equals to log A by B. Now these two formulas are included in this one. Log 9 plus log 125 is in the form of log A plus log B, whereas log minus log 32 is in the form of log A minus log B. So now these two we need to multiply, that is log 9 into 125, and this one we need to write it in the division form. divided by 32. So it's not possible to simplify further. Any cancellation is not possible. That's why we need to write it as log 9 into 125. It is 1125 divided by 32 as usual. Writing it in a single logarithm. Next question. What is the value of log 25 base 5, log 5 base 25 and 2 power 2 plus log 3 base 2? Okay, let's move. Check the first question. Log 25 base 5 equals to log 25 can be written as 5 square with the base 5 as usual. Here now the power is for the main number, so it will come to the front as it is. 2 times log 5 base 5. Log 5 base 5 value is 1. So 2 into 1, which is nothing but 2. Next, second question. Log 5 base 25. Log 5 base 25. So log 5 as usual, 25 can be written as 5 square. In the previous case, the power is for the main number, but in this case, the power is for the base. So, if the power is for the base, it will come to the front as the reciprocal. So, 2 reciprocal is 1 by 2 log 5 base 5, which is equals to 1 by 2 into log 5 base 5 value is 1. So, 1 by 2 into 1, it is 1 by 2. Next, question number 3. 2 power 2 plus log 3 base 2. 2 power 2 plus log 3 base 2. Now, in the exponents, we have one formula. A power m into a power n equals to a power m plus n. If the bases are equal, the powers should be added. So, a power m into a power n equals to a power m plus n. Now, the given question is in this form then, a power m plus n. Now, we need to create it in the backwards. A means 2, m means 2, n means log 3 base 2. Okay, let us check it out now. So, a power m nothing but 2 power 2 into a power n 2 power log 3 base 2. 2 square 4 into here 2 power log 3 base 2. If these two numbers are same, then this will be the answer 3. So 4 times 3, 12. Okay, this is one of the very important questions. If x square plus y square equals to 25xy, then prove that 2 log of x plus y equals to 3 log 3 plus log x plus log y. First check in the given question any negative symbol is there or not there. If all the terms are positive terms only, then add 2xy for this equation. In case in the question if at least one negative symbol is there, then subtract 2xy. So now for us all question terms are positive only, so we need to add 2xy. Okay, let us take that equation whatever he gave. X square plus y square equals to 25xy. So in this total we will be having positive terms only, so we need to add 2xy. So add 2xy on both the sides. So then what it will become? X square plus y square plus 2xy equals to 25xy plus 2xy. Both the sides adding 2xy. Now left side part, if we observe x square plus y square plus 2xy, it is in the form of a square plus b square plus 2ab. So this can be simplified as x plus y whole square equals to 25xy plus 2xy can be written as 27xy. Next, in the question we want a logarithm. But here we don't have any logarithm. So what we need to do? Applying logarithm on both the sides. Log of x plus y whole square equals to log 27xy. Now, as I said in the previous problem already, this power will come to the front as it is because it is for main number. So 2 log of x plus y is equals to log 27 into x into y. It is multiplication, so multiplication will become addition then. Then log 27 plus log x plus log y. Now left side I am not going to do anything because we cannot simplify further, so I am keeping it as it is. Now log 27 can be written as 3 cube plus log x plus log y. Again left side as it is, 2 log of x plus y equals to, this 3 will come to the front side, 3 times log 3 plus log x plus log y. Hence proved. Let's check the next question then. If log of x plus y divided by 3 equals to half into log x plus log y, then find the value of x by y plus y by x. Okay, observe this question clearly. In the given question, logarithm is there, but whatever the value he is asking in that logarithm is not there at all. So it means our first duty is to remove the logarithms completely. Let us do that now. So if we take the first equation, what he gave, log of x plus y divided by 3 equals to half into log x plus log y. Left side, if we observe, here log is completely outside of the remaining terms. I mean remaining alphabets or numbers, whatever it may be, so no problem. But whereas the right side, this log and this log are completely in between some of the numbers. So right side part we need to concentrate on. So I won't do anything to the left side part. I'll keep the left side part as it is because already log is separated from the remaining. Log of x plus y divided by 3 equals to, now half into log x plus log y. It is in the form of log a plus log b. So plus is there means it will become multiplication. Log xy. Here front side number is there, it will go as the power. Log of x plus y by 3 equals to log xy power 1 by 2. What is the meaning of power 1 by 2? Power 1 by 2 means a square root. So left side as it is, log of x plus y by 3 equals to log root xy. Now both the sides, left side as well as the right sides, log we can remove by comparison. So these logs will get removed. So now what we remains with then? X plus y divided by 3 equals to under root xy. Now in the question he is asking us to find the value of x by y plus y by x, but in that square root is not there. But here we got square root. So to remove that square root, we need to do squaring on both the sides. So if we do squaring on both the sides, what we will get then? X plus y divided by 3 whole square equals to root xy whole square. Square root, square cancel. Then we remains x plus y by 3 whole square can be written as x plus y whole square by 3 square, which is equals to xy. X plus y whole square, if the numerator if we expand, x square plus y square plus 2xy divided by 9 equals to xy. Take 9 to the right side. X square plus y square plus 2xy equals to 9. If we take to the right side, it will become multiplication. So 9xy. Next, 2xy also if we take to the right side, x square plus y square equals to 9xy minus 2xy. X square plus y square equals to 9xy minus 2xy, 7xy. Now keep 7 like that only and bring xy to the left side. So x square plus y square whole divided by xy equals to 7. If we separate it, x square by xy plus y square by xy equals to 7. Here square x cancel, for square y cancel. So finally we remains with x by y plus y by x equals to 7. Next question. If 2.3 whole power x equals to 0.23 whole power y equals to 1000, then find the value of 1 by x minus 1 by y. So for this question to solve, two methods will be there. One is by using the logarithms and one is without using the logarithm. So in this I am going to explain without using the logarithms. If you want that also with logarithm, just check the description or comment box. You will be having one more method. Go through that. So first he gave 2.3 whole power x equals to 0.23 whole power y equals to 1000. That I am going to take. 2.3 whole power x equals to 0.23 whole power y equals to 1000. Here 1000, if we simplify, we can write that as 10 power 3. 2.3 whole power x equals to 1000, as well as 0.23 whole power equals to also 1000 only. Now I will separate it as 2. So we can write it as 2.3 whole power x is equals to 10 cube. The same way 0.23 whole power y equals to 10 cube. Now here power x is there. So to remove that power x, both the sides I am dividing the powers by x. Whereas in this case, to remove the y, both the powers I am dividing it by y. So that here x cancel, in this y cancel. So what we remains in further then? 2.3 equals to 10 power 3 by x. Next here 0.23 equals to 10 power 3 by y. Okay, now here if we observe this number 2.3 and this number 0.23, some connection will be there in between these two. That is 2.3, if we divide it by 10, we will get 0.23. Now let us substitute the values. 2.3 value is 10 power 3 by x divided by 10 can be written as 10 power 1 equals to 0.23 value is 10 power 3 by 1. Next, this left side part if we observe clearly, it is in the form of a power m by a power n. So the formula will be a power m minus n. So this can be simplified as 10 power 3 by x minus 1 equals to 10 power 3 by y. Here both the bases, that is 10, 10, both the bases are equal. So automatically the powers also equal. That is 3 by x minus 1 equals to 3 by y. Take minus 1 to the right side and bring 3 by y to the left side. So 3 by x as it is plus 3 by y will become minus 3 by y is equals to minus 1 will become plus 1. From the left side, here in the numerator 3 is there, here also in the numerator 3 is there. So I will take out 3 as the common. Then we remains with 1 by x minus 1 by y is equals to 1. Now take 3 to the right side, then it will become division. So we get 1 by x minus 1 by y equals to 1 by 3. Let's check the next question then. If 2 power x plus 1 equals to 3 power 1 minus x, then find the x value. So first, for the given question, we need to apply log on both the sides. So log 2 power x plus 1 equals to log 3 power 1 minus x. Here both the powers are having two terms. That's why for those brackets I am keeping bracket. Now power is for the main number, so it will go to the front as it is. This will also go to the front as it is. So we remains with x plus 1 into log 2 equals to 1 minus x into log 3. Now let us expand this. X into log 2, x log 2 plus 1 into log 2, 1 log 2, nothing but log 2 1 into log 3, 1 log 3 simply as log 3 minus x into log 3, x log 3. Minus x log 3 I will take to the left side and log 2 I will bring to the right side. So what we will get then? X log 2 as it is minus x log 3 will become plus x log 3, which is equals to log 3 as it is. This plus log 2, if you take another side, it will become minus log 2. Now from the left side, here x is there, here also x is there, so that we can take out x common. So if we take out x common, then we remains with log 2 plus log 3 equals to log 3 minus log 2. In the next step, I will make it short. So here x into log 2 plus log 3. It is in the form of log a plus log b. Log a plus log b equals to log ab. When addition is there means we need to multiply. So log 2 plus log 3 will become log 2 into 3, 6 is equals to right side we have log 3 minus log 2, which is in the form of log a minus log b. It's equals to log a by b. If minus is there means we need to do division. So log 3 minus log 2 will become log 3 by 2. Now we want x value, so take log 6 to the right side. Then we get x is equals to log 3 by 2 divided by log 6. Here we should not cancel log because its log is not separately. Log 3 by 2 is one, log 6 is another. So log should not be cancelled. Let's check the next question then. Is log 5 a rational number? So now the given question is in the logarithmic form. We need to convert that to first exponential form. Let us check now. Log 5 is there. For any logarithm, if the base is not there, means always the base will be 10. So log 5 base 10, let us assume that it is equals to some value x. Now this is in logarithmic form. We need to convert this to exponential form. Here base is the 10, that will go as it is as the base only. So 10 power x, which is equals to number 5 is remaining. So 10 power x is equals to 5. Now let us check. In the place of x, I will substitute one by one number. 10 power 0, 1. 10 power 1, 10. 10 power 2, 100. If we continue like that, is there any chance that we will get number 5? Obviously no. There is no x which satisfies the given equation. So log 5 is an irrational number. There is no value for x which gives 5. So log 5 is irrational number.